this brings me back. The music, these familiar character models, all the paper, it's just, wait a minute, is that a noose?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Hey guys, it's your boy Just Ray here, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, I just want to say, welcome. Man, was this video a long time coming. For me, right now for you. Today I want to talk about a game from my childhood, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. I mean, you saw the title. You knew what this video was going to be about. I still remember the day when I got the game. It was Christmas 2004. I was 8. Yeah, that was 20 years ago. Damn! I still remember opening up the present and it said Paper Mario. I'm like, Paper Mario? Granted, I didn't know there was a Paper Mario before this, so this was completely new to me. I remember I played the game and it was fantastic. I popped the game in my GameCube and immediately I'm like, okay, this is this is not your typical Mario. Well, it does. Paper Mario. I just thought the game was awesome. One, the style was different. The dialogue was just very funny. Something I would never thought I would see in a Mario game. Also, it was an RPG. Like, I don't think I ever played an RPG before this game. Well, maybe Pokemon, but I don't know if you will count that as a RPG. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I remember taking this game to my cousin's house and we both played the game and we loved it. We enjoyed it. It was great. Unfortunately, I never finished it. At some point in the game, I got lost, and you know, this was before YouTube. Damn! So, yeah, that happened. And then time went on. I got another console. The games kind of got lost in the sauce, and I just never got back to it. But that game has always been in the back of my mind. And it wasn't until last year Nintendo announced a Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake, and you knew I was just on that. I was on it. So I immediately grabbed it, played it, beat it, and here we are today. So, I present to you my Paper Mario Thousand Year Door Retrospective. The game begins with Princess Peach leaving Toadsworth behind while they're on vacation. Their vacation takes them to a town called Rogueport, and I have to say this place might not be the most ideal spot for a vacay, but you know, each to their own, I guess. Peach gets called over by a mysterious merchant and then given a box with the treasure map. The merchant tells her only a pure heart can open it, and the merchant does his evil laugh. Yeah, this definitely ain't a trick. Spoiler alert, she does indeed have a pure heart, and she opens the box with the treasure map inside. Super excited to go treasure hunting, she invites Mario to Rogueport so they can hunt the treasure together. She sent the treasure map to Mario with a letter. Now imagine if the letter got lost or something. They would have been screwed. But anyway, Mario then heads to town and we see a Goomba getting hounded by a group of thugs calling themselves the X-Nauts. There's a reason why they call themselves that, but we'll get to that later. The Goomba then gets behind Mario and now Mario gotta box these people. Just imagine you just walk in and minding your business and you just randomly get pulled into a fight that you had no stakes in. But anyway, this leads into a fight tutorial, and don't worry, I'll cover the fight mechanics later. Mario wins the fight, but all of a sudden he's surrounded by a bunch of henchmen. During the confusion, Mario escapes and heads into town with the Goomba. The Goomba introduces herself as Goombella and rewards Mario with a kiss. Yeah, this happens a lot in the game. She also joins you as a party member, and you can use her to give you information about a location or an enemy. Meanwhile, Toadsworth shows up, letting Mario know that Princess Peach is missing. Afterwards, we met Goombella's teacher, Professor Brinkley. Goombella took Mario there to find some clues about the treasure below Rogueport. In order to get the treasure, Mario needs to find the 7 crystal stars to open the Thousand Year Door, where the treasure is said to be found. If the person with the magical map holds it up in front of the Thousand Year Door, all the locations for the crystal stars will be revealed on the map. It's a good thing Peach put that map in the letter, huh? Mario goes to the Thousand Year Door, located in the sewers of Rogueport, and we get the first star's location, Hooktail's castle, which is owned by this big red dragon named, you guessed it, Hooktail. And this is where the first chapter begins. Before Mario confronts Hooktail, however, the duo heads to town to Petalburg, where a bunch of Koopas live. There, Mario talks to the mayor of the town, and the mayor tells him that he needs a sun in the moonstone in order to enter Hooktail's castle. Now, some people are saying that the stones are a Pokemon reference, but I don't know. You tell me. On their way to getting the stones, a nervous Koopa named Koops walks up to Mario. He seems like he wants something from Mario, but he never gets around saying it. Anxiety, am I right? Anyway, Mario and Goombella make it to the fortress where the stones are being held, and after some trials in the quiz show, Mario gathers the stones and then ready to head to the castle. As Mario is on his way to the castle, Koops stops him again. Come to find out, Koops just wants to help Mario fight Hooktail so he can stop being a weakling and be like his dad, who previously failed to defeat Hooktail. So maybe not exactly like his dad, but you get the idea. Also, his girlfriend tries to stop him from fighting Hooktail and says that she doesn't care if he's a weak crybaby, she just wants him to be him. This quickly turned into Young and the Restless. Anyway, she gets mad and the squad heads into the castle. On the way to the top of the castle, the gang meets a mouse thief in the treasure room. She gives Mario a kiss and dips off. You know, typical Mario stuff. Finally, Mario and the crew reach the room where Hooktail is, and the fight commences. In the middle of the fight, Hooktail decides that she done getting her behind kicked, and she tries to bribe Mario out of the fight. From 10,000 coins to letting Mario smell the bottom of her feet. Yes, you heard me correctly. Mario refuses all the options, of course, and proceeds to defeat her. After Hooktail is defeated, Koops' dad comes out of her mouth and comes to find out he was hiding in his shell inside of Hooktail for the last 10 years. He also happens to have the crystal star on him and gives it to Mario. Also, if you talk to Koops' dad at some point, I don't remember when, he'll tell you that he got defeated because he took one of Hooktail's deals. I'm gonna let you guess which one it was. Though in the epilogue of the first chapter, we find out the Princess Peach was kidnapped by the X-Naut. Sir Brodus, the leader of X-Naut, sends the three shadows, Beldum, Marilyn, and Vivian, to steal the map from Mario, since his goal is to collect all the crystal stars too. While Peach is in her holding room, someone mysteriously opens the door. Peach goes through the hallway and the door to the computer room opens as well. Come to find out, it was the computer named Tech who opened the doors for Peach. Tech confesses that the moment he saw Peach, his program started malfunctioning. Essentially, Tech just went Peaches, Peaches, Peaches. In exchange for Peach teaching him about love of all things, Tech allows Peach to send Mario an email. Meanwhile, at Bowser's castle, Kammy Koopa reports to Bowser about Mario collecting crystal stars, and of course, he wants in on the action. Also, Kammy tells Bowser about the princess being captured, and he just appalled that someone else other than him kidnapped her. So, he decides to hack the roadport so he can kidnap her back. Back at Petalburg, Koops decides that he wants to continue to travel with Mario and help him collect the 7 crystal stars. So Mario and the gang head to the 1,000-year door to drop off the crystal star and to find out the location for the 2nd crystal star, which is at Bogley Woods. Well, the Great Tree at Bogley Woods to be exact. And here is where the next chapter begins. I have to say that this place is visually unique. I mean, just look at it. But anyway, after arriving there, we see the 3 shadows, and Vivian finds herself a nice necklace. Also, we see some verbal abuse from her older sister Beldum, and some gaslighting too, since Beldum makes it seem like Vivian lost the sketch of Mario, when in truth it was her who lost it. Since they don't have the sketch, they just let Mario walk past them. Mario and the gang get to the tree and find out that the X-Nauts installed the door onto the tree and it's locked. Yeah, I forgot to mention this thing is called a puny. Yeah, that little thing there. Get it? Cause little. Anyway, he said the tree was overrun by X-Nauts looking for the crystal star in the tree. So the puny says that there is a secret entrance inside the tree, but they will need the help of Madame Flurry. So Mario heads over to Madame Flurry's house. She refuses to leave her room because she doesn't have her necklace, being super dramatic, but she's an actress, so this will be expected. So Mario has to go to the 3 shadows to get the necklace back. Meanwhile, Beldum finally finds a sketch, and yes, it was on her person. So now they know Mario was the guy that walked past them. Mario catches up to them, kicks their behinds, and he takes the necklace back to Madame Flurry. Madame Flurry is revealed to be a Wind Spirit? Yeah, I'm gonna go with Wind Spirit. She decides to reward Mario with, you guess it, a kiss. However, I would say if kisses can make babies, she would have definitely made a couple with this one. Why did they need Flurry, you may ask? Well, she can blow... Sorry, it just came out wrong. She can blow wind like the big bad wolf. After going around playing Pikmin with the punies, meeting his very old but intimidating elder, getting another kiss from the flirty mouse, and leading a battle, Mario has another showdown with this X-Naut in a robot suit. Yeah, him from the beginning. Mario beats him, of course, because, well, he's Mario, and he gets the 2nd crystal star. In the epilogue of the chapter, we get Sir Brodus complaining about losing the crystal star, Peach dancing with Tech, Yeah, it's a whole thing. And we get to watch Bowser be one step behind Mario by going to Petalburg after Mario. Now you see the format of how the story is told. And I gotta say, I always look forward to the Bowser bits because they are just like the funny parts in the game. So, Mario drops off the Crystal Star at the 1,000-year door and he gets the location for the third Crystal Star, which is in Glitzville. Mario also learns that there is more than treasure connected to the 1,000-year door, but back to that later. Out of all the great chapters in this game, Chapter 3 is my favorite. So Mario needs to get to Glitzville. However, the city is in the sky, so he needs to get on a blimp that can take him there. How does he get a ticket? He gets it from the Mafia. Yeah, this is a great start already. So Mario gets the ticket from the blimp and the gang heads to Glitzville. This is where Chapter 3 begins. Upon arriving to Glitzville, Mario sees a fighting match between, you guessed it, fighters. Rawhawk wins the match, and yes, his name is Rawhawk, and we see his belt, and there is a crystal star on it. So, in order for Mario to get the star, he has to fight his way to the top. Mario gets his fighting name, and it's the Great Gonzalez. Yeah, that's not racist at all. And Mario starts his fighting career. This part of the game was a big highlight for me. It was cool to see Mario head his way to the top, fighting other fighters and getting more popular as he keeps winning. Seeing how Mario goes from rag to riches, it's inspiring to see really. This part in the game was a great way to level up too with all the battling that Mario does. So, when Mario is in the battle, he's on stage, like a stage play, and the Thesmy and me definitely appreciates it. It's usually Mario and another teammate fighting against, well, whoever. You can switch out partners too. However, switching out for another battle partner will take away your partner's turn, unless you have a badge that prevents that equip. But we'll get back to badges in a minute. Mario got two attack types. One is jumping, and the other one is using a hammer. You would typically use a certain attack type depending on the situation. For example, if the enemy has a spike on his head, you wouldn't jump on it, because well, it would hurt. You would use your hammer. Your partner might have an ability that is the key to getting through a fight easier as well. You would have to read the situation in order to make the right decisions in battle. Even though the rule applies less and less as Mario gathers up badges. Badges are found in the overworld, chests, at stores, and are used for various things. For more health and strength for Mario and his partner. Some badges can even allow Mario to avoid spike damage while jumping, which would cancel out my previous example. Some badges can give Mario stronger hammer and jump attacks as well, and give his partner stronger attacks. However, those attacks require flower points. Depending on the attack depends on how many flower points you need. You use up flower points every time you use a move that requires flower points. I mean, duh. So, if you don't have enough flower points, you can't use the move. So flower points are very important to have stacked up. You can gain more flower points when you level up. You level up once you get 100 battle stars. You collect battle stars after you defeat an enemy. But once you level up, you get the option to put more points in HP, badge points, or flower points. More points in HP means more health. More badge points means the ability to have more badges equipped. And of course, more flower points means more flower points. You remember when I mentioned Mario being on stage during battle? Yeah, that comes into play too. Get it? Comes into play like a stage play because Mario fighting on stage like a fight in the play. So during the battle, you can earn performance stars. Depending on what you do in battle, depends on how much you get. If Mario and his partner wave to the crowd, the audience will give you a lot of performance stars. You can also gain performance stars by doing a stylish move before or after an attack. If you stack up your performance stars, you can use the crystal stars in battle. Each crystal star has different properties. My favorite one is the one with the earthquakes. So, the better you perform in battles, the quicker you're able to use crystal stars. So, back to the chapter. Mario is fighting his way up to the ranks as the Great Gonzalez. Again, not racist at all. At some point, Mario helps his jumping egg, and the egg decides to follow him. Mario gets in the ring, fighting the Adonis twins, and the Great Gonzalez does his thing. And when I say he did his thing, I mean they took a massive L. He just can't defeat them. So he goes back to the locker room and comes to find out that the egg hatched while he was gone. And what was in that egg? A baby Yoshi. For saving his life, he decides to help Mario fight back. So back in the ring with the Adonis twins, but this time things are different. With Yoshi's gulp ability, Mario and the crew had no problem taking them out this time. After defeating the Adonis twins, Mario is now in the major leagues and much closer to getting that belt, which Mario soon finds out is fake. So now, they have to find out where the real belt is. Mario gets a mysterious message from X, telling him if he wants the belt, he has to follow X's instructions. So now Mario is fighting his way to the top. Meanwhile, he is getting more messages from X, fighters are disappearing, and Bowser shows up at some point to fight Mario in the ring. Yeah, sounds random. But you know what? It was random. Eventually, Mario makes it to the top, gets the belt, and finds out that this guy was evil the whole time, using the crystal star to absorb fighters like some Cell type time. You find out X was this guy's assistant this whole time, helping Mario so he can defeat this guy since he absorbed her brother years ago, and he was a legendary fighter. You know, typical Tuesday stuff. Of course, Mario kicks his behind because this game is called Paper Mario, and he finally gets the Crystal Star. Again, great chapter. In this chapter's epilogue, we get Peach disguising herself as an X-Naut to gain information from Sir Grodus. How does Peach fit in a suit? No idea. She finds out that Sir Grodus wants to conquer the world because of course he does, and she sends a message to Mario. Meanwhile, Bowser is messing with the local residents at Boogley Woods. So, with the mystery solved, matches are still up and going, and the little Yoshi wants to join Mario for the adventure. Mario heads back into Rogueport, and after he arrives, he gets the message from Peach. You know, the one about the X-Nauts trying to take over the world, like your typical cartoon villain. Yeah, that one. Mario drops off the Crystal Star at the door and he goes to see the professor. The professor reveals that the treasure behind the door is actually the great catalysm that sank the town 1,000 years ago. So the X-Nauts want to use that to conquer the world. I don't know how you conquer a world that's destroyed, but whatever. The professor tells Mario where the next Crystal Star is, and it's in Twilight Town. After some shenanigans involving Mario putting his name on his underwear, he goes down the pipe into Twilight Town. And this is how chapter 4 begins. This place is mad creepy. I'm just gonna put that out there. Like, look at the trees, the crows, shoot, look at the people. I thought they was cursed, and this is before Mario found out that these people were actually cursed. I'm sorry, just something about the odds, really. So anyway, Mario talks to the mayor of the town, and the mayor tells him that the town is cursed by this dark creature that lives at Creepy Steeple. Every time the bell rings at the steeple, someone turns into a pig. Also, he tells Mario that the Crystal Star is at Creepy Steeple too. So Mario and the gang head down to the edge of town so they can go to the Creepy Steeple when they're stopped by someone guarding the gate. He tells Mario that if he wants to go through the gate, he'll need the mayor's permission. On his way over, the bell rings, and you might think, who's going to turn into a pig next? It was obviously the mayor. I mean, it was obvious when he set off a death flag talking to Mario earlier. Well, I guess a pig flag in this case. So Mario heads back to the gate, and the guy who's guarding the gate got turned into a pig too. Without anyone guarding the gate, Mario passes through the gate. Mario makes it to the Creepy Steeple, and he comes across this ghost, I guess? To me, he just looked like a guy in his parents' bed sheets. Anyway, he is the guy who's turning everyone into pigs. So of course, Mario gotta kick his behind. And Mario did and got the Crystal Star. At least that's what they want you to think. During the battle, this guy did something to Mario, but we'll get into that later. In the meantime, he looks like Mario and the real Mario look like this. Meanwhile, you got these three tracking down Mario at Twilight Town. Mario heads back into town and this guy pops out of the moon for some reason, telling Mario that he took his name and his body, and that's why Mario looked like a shadow. The imposter does give Mario a chance to get his body back. If Mario can guess his real name, they can give him his body and his identity back. Now, you can try to guess at this point, but even Google won't be able to help because the letter P is missing from the keyboard. So Mario runs away because he can't beat the frog at the moment. Mario then helps Vivian out with something, and in return, she decides to help Mario get his identity back. And she also tells Mario that she doesn't want to stay with her sisters anymore, you know, with all the abuse and all that. She helps Mario get information from the local birds by hiding him in the shadows. From the birds, Mario finds out that someone at Creepy Steeple knows the faker's real name. So he takes a journey back to Creepy Steeple. At Creepy Steeple, Mario finds a parrot, and by using Vivian's ability, Mario overhears the parrot calling fake Mario Dupless. So now that Mario has the name and the letter P from the chest that the parrot was guarding, he was ready to face Dupless. Mario faces off with Dupless and guesses his name. After saying the correct name, Dupless starts acting like Kendrick in that one music video and dips off back to Creepy Steeple. So Mario has to go back to Creepy Steeple. Mario and Vivian confront Dupless at Creepy Steeple, and you see the funniest dialogue ever. It's at this point Vivian realizes that the person she was helping all along was Mario. So she dips, like a nacho during game day. So now Mario has to face Dupless and the rest of his party alone. Now, just a little side note, all you need to do is defeat Dupless. You don't have to defeat your partners. Now, I did partly because I didn't know, but mainly because I felt disrespected and I took that personally. Anyway, during some time in the battle, Vivian comes back realizing that Mario is the only one who's kind to her, and she fights with Mario. So after defeating Dupless, Mario gets his body back and the Crystal Star. Dupless runs off and Mario friends apologize for not realizing who the real Mario was. Vivian decides to travel with the gang from now on. In the epilogue of this chapter, Sir Grodus finds out that the seal at the 1,000-year door is weakening. Meanwhile, Tech is feeling conflicted about making Peach upset with Sir Grodus' plan. I mean, if I heard that someone was trying to summon an ancient demon, I'd probably be upset too. So after hearing the news, Peach sends a message to Mario to warn him. Meanwhile, Bowser flying thing runs out of gas while he's flying to Glitzville and falls into the ocean. Bowser had to swim all the way back to Rogueport. Kimmy Cooper comes back looking like she had a good time and Bowser wasn't having it. So back at Rogueport, Mario gets the message from Peach regarding Sir Gross's plan, and you know they wasn't good hearing it. Mario of course drops off the crystal star at the door and he goes to see the professor. The professor wasn't good hearing the news either. This is where the professor gives the full details about what happened 1,000 years ago. But you know what, y'all can just Google it because I don't feel like talking about it. I'm kidding, I got y'all. So long story short, there were 4 heroes who fought against the Great Cataclysm Demon. They couldn't defeat her completely, so they took the 7 crystal stars from the demon and used them to seal her away. So with the door weakening, they would need the crystal stars to seal the door again. The professor then gives out the location for the next crystal star, which is Keelhaul Key. So Mario heads to the end bar to find Flavio. Flavio talks about getting the Pirate King's Cortez's treasure at Keelhaul Key. Mario then tells Flavio that he's heading to Keelhaul Key to get the crystal star. So Flavio says that he will join them on their journey to Keelhaul Key. Mario tells Flavio he doesn't have a ship to travel to the island, but it's all good because Flavio has one. Mario is on Flavio's ship and he meets the crew and the guy Mario beat twice, obviously in disguise. Yeah, that's going to be a problem later, but you know what? Cross that bridge when we get there. Flavio says that the ship needs a navigator. Fortunately, one of his crewmates heard about a legendary sailor named Admiral Bobomri who was living in Rogueport. Mario gets promoted to captain and he goes to talk to the legendary sailor. Mario finds Bobomri in his house and you know what? I'm just gonna call him Bob. So Bob tells Mario, nah, I ain't doing it. So Mario finds out from this bartender that his wife died while he was out in sea, and he declared to never sail again. Also, the bartender tells Mario that his wife wrote a letter to Bob telling him to keep sailing. She gave it to the bartender, and this ex-stupido never gave it to him. The bartender saw Bob suffering and was like, yo, should I give him the letter? Nah.
No, I don't think I will.
Anyway, the bartender gives Mario the letter, he gives Bob the letter, and they finally set sail to Keelhaul Key. This is where chapter 5 begins. After being out at sea for a few days and being knocked overboard by some fire spirits, Mario finds himself ashore at Keelhaul Key, ironically enough. After dealing with some of the ghosts that attacked him previously, Mario volunteered to explore the island. And by volunteered, I mean he had no choice since everyone else was too scared to. While exploring the island, Mario finds Bob, a toad, and the guy he defeated twice but disguised for obvious reasons, being ambushed by the blue ghost. Bob tells everyone to get away while he takes on the blue ghost alone, which is very stupid because Mario can fight them. I mean, they don't call him the Great Gonzalez for nothing. So anyway, they dip out of there and you know how everyone can see this man is in disguise? Well, the game is weird too. Mario knocks Bob out of the tree and now he's dying, so his final request is to drink some old cola that he got from his late wife. Mario gets the cola and gives it to Bob, and then Bob dies. So Mario smacks him with his hammer to wake his dramatic behind up. You know, between knocking Bob out of the tree and hitting him with the hammer, I'm starting to see that abuse is a big theme in the game. Anyway, Bob joins the crew. I ain't gonna lie, Mario is starting to look like Luffy out here. Back at the camp, Bob tells everyone about a skull rock that smells suspicious. And I don't know what suspicion smells like, but if he can smell it, then it must be a very suspicious rock. Mario and Flavio go to investigate the rock. After some puzzle work, Mario finds himself walking into a cave. After some exploration and making a cursed chest happy, don't worry, we'll get more into that later, Mario comes across a bunch of dirty toads stranded. After saving them, one of the toads tells Mario the story of how he got there. Essentially, what happened to Mario's crew is what happened to them, you know, with the ghosts and all that. Mario then walked towards Cortez's ship when this guy, hold up, let me just look up his name real quick. Okay, Lord Crump. Lord Crump in disguise tells Mario he was counting on him getting the crystal star, and so was Grodus. Yeah, he's a horrible undercover agent. Inside the ship, the Pirate King appears in front of Mario. He ain't too happy about people trying to take his treasure, obviously. So they fight, and of course Mario gives them that work. The Pirate King is defeated, or at least Mario thinks so. Apparently you can't kill something that's already dead. I mean, that makes perfect sense actually. After some talking, Cortez realizes that Mario doesn't even want the treasure, just the crystal star. So Cortez just gives him the star. You see, kids, you see how far just talking things out can get you? Anyways, Mario and the Toads finally escape the cave and they make it outside. Lord Crump and the X-Nauts, oh wow, they actually sound like a band name. Lord Crump and the X-Naut start shooting cannonballs out of nowhere, attacking the island. Also, Crump does this to reveal that he was Lord Crump this whole time. I mean, we always knew, but we were just waiting for the characters to catch up, I guess. Don't you guys hate that? Like, you watch a whole season of a show waiting for a character to realize the guy was a bad guy this whole time. Like, we knew. Or better yet, your best friend is dating someone and the flags are just bleeding red, but the friend just can't see it, but you can. It's like that. Wait, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Lord Crumbs tell Mario to give up the Crystal Star or he's going to destroy everyone essentially. So everyone on the island is just panicking at this point, but Flavio has a plan. He knows where they can find a ship, so he asks Mario to take him to Cortez's ship. So at Cortez's ship, Flavio asked Cortez if he could lead his ship. Cortez said that the ship is magic and that the ship can only move with the magical skull gem. Now I know I haven't mentioned it, but if you were watching along, you know who had the magical gem. So after some negotiating, Cortez allows them to use the ship. Now time for the counterattack, and it's an all-out battle. Who will win? It's Mario. I mean, obviously. So after being defeated for the third time, Lord Crumb dips, and he gives Sir Grodus the bad news. Realizing that Mario has 5 stars and he only has 1 star, Sir Grodus decides they need to take a different measure. Meanwhile, Tech wants Peach to sneak into Sir Grodus' office and find a data disk. That way, Tech can have information on everything that Grodus is planning. So Tech tells Peach to make a concoction so she can go invisible and get the disk. Peach succeeds in doing all that, and now she is waiting for Tech to decipher the data. Meanwhile, Bowser and Cammy are at Twilight Town looking for one of the stars, not knowing that Mario already grabbed it. Somehow he gets into a showdown with Crump and he kills everyone at Twilight Town. Mario and the gang take a ride back to Rogueport on Cortez's ship. Mario does his usual and drops off the crystal star at the 1,000-year door. This was when I realized that Mario always makes this funny behind face when the map is floating in the air. After talking to the professor, Mario finds out that the next crystal star is at Poshley Heights, a place where the upper echelon lives. It's also where the Poshley Sanctum is at and where Mario can find the crystal star. Being that Poshley Sanctum is just a tourist attraction, getting the star should be easy this time around. But first, Mario needs to take a train to get out of there. Getting tickets for the train costs a lot of money. So where do you go when you need a lot of money? The Mafia. After helping the Mafia boss out, he gives Mario the ticket for the train. On his way to the tracks, Beldum overhears the next star is going to be at Poshley Heights. So now it's a race to get there first. Mario boards the train. And this is where the next chapter begins, ladies and gentlemen. What started off as a normal train ride quickly turned for the worse when Yoshi finds a strange note on the floor, threatening Mario. Well, not exactly for the worse. Maybe annoying at best. Anyway, now Mario has a mystery to solve. Who wrote the note? Was it Beldum? Was it Bowser? Was it Mario? Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Mario meets the conductor for the train and gives him the note. The conductor thanks Mario for letting him know about the yummy threat and tells him to be safe. Mario goes into the common area, and there he sees a trace of something on the floor. Is it blood? Is it doo-doo? We don't know. A mysterious detective named Pennington shows up, and he wishes to figure out the mystery of the missing pot. He deduces that not only was the pot taken, but also the stew that was inside of it. Pennington is so clever. Mario follows the trace of stew that was on the floor to a cabin of a very fat toad. Mario finds a golden pot under some food magazines. That's when the toad admits that was him who ate the stew. After the case was solved, the great Pennington wanted to see Mario privately in his cabin. So, Mario sees Pennington, and he tells Mario how impressed he was with his detective skills. However, the fat toad was not the one who wrote the note. Who had written the note? Was it Yoshi? Was it Pennington? Was it me? We don't know! Anyway, Pennington decides to make Mario his new assistant. He also deduces who Mario is, and I thought it was pretty obvious at first, but then Pennington got me. Pennington deduced him as Luigi. See? I told you he was clever. So I thought we was playing as Mario this whole time. Pennington puts the Bomb family as the first set of suspects. I think it's a little racist, but who am I to question the great Pennington? So, Luigi goes into the Bomb family only to find 2 parents arguing over what to give their son for his birthday. Since the kid knows that Luigi is a detective, he asks him to give him what he really wants for his birthday. After some clever investigation, Luigi figures out that the little Bomb wants an autograph from the train engineer. He gives the little Bomb the autograph, and he's happy and all that. But we still don't know who wrote the note. You thought I was going to do the whole bit again, didn't you? Sorry to Game of Thrones you and disappoint your expectations, but I just figured it would have lost its touch if I did it for the 3rd time. Was it Cammy? Later on, Luigi talks to the conductor and he tells Luigi something very suspicious. Apparently, when the conductor was passing out blankets to the passengers, he was 1 blanket short. Since the conductor has OCD when it comes to his blanket count, he thinks there might be a stowaway. It wasn't a stowaway, it's just a ghost. He died in his room or something dark like that, but he didn't write the note, so it doesn't matter. Luigi goes to bed for the night and wakes up for the new day. Not too long after he wakes up, Luigi finds himself in a new case. So apparently when this mouse woke up, his suitcase was gone. In the suitcase, there was a product prototype in it, and if it wasn't found, the mouse would get fired. So what was this product prototype? Well, it's pretty much hot sauce. It's so powerful that it can bring back the dead, and if it's mixed with seashell, calcium, and gold, it can cause a yummy explosion. Obviously, the yummy explosion is the important part. After some investigating, Luigi finds out that Ziptoad, the pop star, was a thief. So after catching Ziptoad by smacking him with his hammer, Ziptoad admitted to everything. Ziptoad was also the one who wrote the note, so the mystery is finally solved. The train stops at Riverside Station, and as they planning to hand off a tied up Ziptoad, he transforms into his true form, Dupless, and runs away. Luigi heads outside for some air and come to find out the bridge is up. Apparently Beldum and her crew are the reason why the bridge is up. The train engineer feels bad for asking Luigi to head into the station to turn on the bridge switch, but since he was the famous Mario, he figured he wouldn't mind. Wait, I thought this was Luigi. So Mario heads into the station and goes down to the control room. At the control room, Mario sees these black monsters covering the switch. So Mario smacks them away and pulls the switch. With the bridge down, the train can continue forward to Poshley Heights. Mario heads to bed for the night, awaiting the train's arrival to Poshley Heights. The next day, Mario tries to go to the common area, but the door won't open. Very suspicious. So he goes to talk to the train engineer to see what's up. While talking, one of those black monsters appeared on the windshield. Then there's a bunch of them. Making sure everyone's safe, Mario checks out the rest of the train. Mario helps some of the workers that are being held by the black monsters, and then he heads to the roof of the train. After fighting through to get to the front of the train, the black monsters came together as a big black spider thing while holding the other passengers hostage. So Mario fights and defeats the monster, of course, freeing the hostages. After all that, Mario finally makes it to Poshley Heights. Mario heads to the sanctum to grab the crystal star, but the manager went traveling, so the building is locked. Fortunately, the sanctum is owned by the Great Pennington, so it's all good. They head inside and see Beldum and her crew stealing the crystal star. They do get away, but it's all good though, because the star they took was a fake. After that realization, Pennington gives Mario the real star, beating Sir Grodus to the punch once again. Meanwhile, Sir Grodus is upset that Mario beat him to the punch once again. Also, he finds out that Tech has betrayed him. Yeah, he's just having a bad day. Meanwhile, Tech calls Peach into the computer room and he tells her that she needs to escape. She asks why, for some reason, and he tells her that he found out why they were keeping her there and it ain't good. Also, he tells her that she is on the moon. Tech says that he will help her escape, but she wanted to send a message to Mario first, warning him about everything. As she is typing her message, Grodus comes in to confront Tech. He proceeds to shut down Tech and delete all of his data, just as he was sending the message to Mario. Right before Tech fully shuts down, he tells Peach that he loves her, and Tech is gone, leaving Peach to her horrible fate. Meanwhile, Bowser is at Rogueport, looking all defeated because of all the L's he's been taking. Kimmy informs Bowser about an underground chamber, and he decides to check it out. He's hoping to find something worthwhile, but all Bowser found was a fake crystal star and Kimmy getting dropkicked. Mario heads back to Rogueport, and while he's getting off the train, he gets a message from Peach. Peach tells Mario that she's on the moon, and that she knows how they plan to resurrect the Calamity Queen. But before she can tell him, the message is cut off. Anyway, Mario heads to the door per usual and he drops off the star, leaving one left to get. He gets the location of the next star and it's on the moon. Yeah, definitely not a coincidence. Well, now Mario and crew had to find their way to the moon. It's not like you can shoot your way to the moon. So Mario plans to shoot himself to the moon. Apparently there's a big cannon and far outpost that can blast him there. So Mario heads there. And this is where the next chapter begins. Mario talks to the general with Yoshi regarding the cannon, and the general's like, nah, there's no cannon here. So then Mario talks to the general with Bob, and he says, yeah, we got a cannon, but we ain't telling non-bomb people that. So Bob told him about the world ending, and the general then changes tune. The general said in order to use the cannon, he needs Gold Bob and General White's permission. Mario finds Gold Bob at Poshley Heights, and he gets his permission from him. As for General White, yeah, this man has you going everywhere. All over to different places just to be at the place you started from. Fair post. Now let me quickly say this. The Switch version of this game has this room of pipes that lead you to all the previous locations that you visited, making it easier to travel back and forth to different locations. The original version did not have that, however. So imagine going on the manhunt for General White back then. Couldn't be me. And it wasn't because I never finished the original game. So anyway, Mario finally finds General White sleeping at Fair Post. After jumping on him about 50 times, General White wakes up and is ready to go. He says that he was looking for Mario everywhere. Something about being his destiny or something like that. But never mind that. Mario can finally use the cannon. So they put Mario in the cannon, and with the help of all the bombs at Fair Post, they blast Mario to the moon. On the moon, they find a very suspicious building. After arriving inside the building, they find a few X-Nauts waiting for them. This was when Mario and crew figured out that this place is an X-Naut space, and this is when I figured out that the word knots in X-Nauts was a reference to Extronauts. Anyway, Mario figured that the Crystal Star and Peach must be here. So, he searches them out. While exploring the base, Mario finds a a teleporter that takes them to Rogueport Underground City. Now Mario and crew knows how the X-Nauts go back and forth between the moon and Rogueport. Eventually, Mario finds Crump waiting for him. Mario finds out that Crump used the star to lure him there, and that Peach wasn't there anymore. Before Mario can ponder on where Peach might be, he finds himself fighting Crump once again. Mario defeats Crump once again and gets a crystal star. Meanwhile, Bowser is at Poshley Heights trying to get the star from the Sanctum. Pennington tells Bowser that he already gave the star to Luigi. One of Bowser's minions tells Bowser that Mario has collected all the crystal stars and is headed to the 1,000-year door. Bowser then decides to head there too. Meanwhile, back on the moon, Mario and crew are wondering where Peach is. Tech then leads Mario to the computer room. This is where Tech tells Mario that Peach is with Rodas at the Palace of Shadows inside the 1,000-year door. Also, he tells Mario to use the teleporter, which Mario does, and then he blows up the base. Back in the underground city, the professor tells Mario they saw Rodas take Peach through the 1,000-year door, which is hard for them to believe since they thought they needed all the stars to open the door. But the professor said he saw them go through the door, so Mario and crew rush to the door. Mario used the stars to open the door to the Palace of Shadows. Mario then proceeds to go through the door. Well, first things first, throughout Mario's journey, he'll come across these cursed chests. Yeah, these chests are supposed to curse Mario, but really they just give him new abilities to use in his travels. You can take on requests at the Help Center. Doing them will grant you items, and one of the requests leads you to having Miss Mouser's becoming one of your partners. So, back to the story. Mario goes through the door, and this is where the final chapter begins. Arriving at the palace, Mario gets into a fight with some skeletons and Hooktail's sister, Gloomtail. After defeating Gloomtail, Mario meets up with the professor, who is actually Dupless in disguise. Beldum pretty much tells Mario that they tricked him into opening the door for them. Mario fights all three and kicked their behinds, of course. Mario then proceeds to meet up with Rodas. Rodas proceeds to say it was all part of his plan all along for Mario to get all the stars so Mario can open the door for him. So, then they proceed to fight, and of course Mario wins because this game is called Paper Mario, not Paper Rodas. After being beaten, Rodas threatens Peach's life, saying he will kill her if Mario makes another step. Bowser then falls on top of Rodas, which leads to a Mario vs. Bowser fight, and of course Mario wins because it's called Paper Mario, not Paper Bowser. While Mario is distracted, Rodas takes Peach into the Evil Queen's tomb. At the tomb, Rodas tells Mario that Peach is going to be a vessel for the Queen. He releases the tomb and darkness takes over everywhere. The Queen then takes Peach as her vessel and takes over her body. Rodas then tries to order the Queen around, but she wasn't having that, so she destroyed them. Then Beldum and her crew shows up, and it's revealed that she was working for the Evil Queen all this time. Beldum was the one who gave Peach the map in the first place. Also, she can be later used as a vessel for the Queen. Anyways, Mario proceeds to fight the Queen. The Queen tries to give Mario a chance to serve her. Mario refuses though, so the Queen proceeds to destroy him. Before she could do so, Mario starts getting power from the crystal stars. Everyone's cheers from around the world is giving Mario and the crew power. I honestly thought this part was awesome. With the power of the crystal stars, Mario finally defeats the Queen and saves Peach. Also, Mario finds out there was a legendary treasure after all. Anyway, back in Rogueport, Mario says his farewell to everyone and sails off with Peach back to the Mushroom Kingdom. The end. So I really enjoyed this game, if I haven't made that clear. Yeah, I'm so glad that I finally was able to finish this game. I can truly say this is the best Paper Mario game I ever played. And I'm not saying all the Paper Mario games are bad, well, except for Secret Star. Secret Star was pretty bad. If you have any complaints, just drop it down in the comments. Don't worry, you can go back and forth. 1,000-Year Door was a very, very good experience, and I hope that Nintendo in the future making Paper Mario games like this, or even better. Always aim higher, And that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and if you made it this far, smash that like and subscribe button. Like, you might as well, you seen the whole video. I hope you guys have a blessed one. Peace.